Hello, 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 beautiful souls. Here we are again with What's Your Spark? And again, I'm joining you today from Miami Beach, Florida, United States. It's your show host, Regina Huber from Transform Your Performance with the same website, transformyourperformance.com. As you know by now, if you've watched me before, I'm an adventurous, eclectic nomad. So you may see me in different locations from time to time. And I actually just booked a flight for my next destination. And there's one immediately after, but that is still a surprise. And I'll disclose that in the future. My eclectic life and experience on 5 continents has allowed me to become a multicultural and multilingual transformational leadership coach and inspirational speaker. During my travels and life on different continents, I have seen an infinite variety of brilliance in people all over the world, and I will continue to see more soon. So I have made it my mission for this show to inspire you to ignite a flame wherever your path leads you, and to fuel that flame inside of you and turn it into a very strongly burning fire so you can shine your brightest light and increase your influence and impact, and in this way also positively influence and impact your bank account, especially your impact as a value-driven leader who stands up for humanity, whatever that looks like for you and your particular case and in your world. We need you to be bold. So allow yourself to be inspired and shine. Today, I'm here to talk about how impact is influenced. You know, it's sort of a little bit of a game of words here, but what does it require? What does impact require us to have? Yes, what's required to have influence and impact, and specifically impact, which is a consequence of influence, we could say. As you know, your impact is a result of many, many things, of course. Having said that, there are 4 requirements that come to mind immediately when I think of impact. And they are: 1, competence; 2, self-empowerment; 3, trust building; and 4, inspiration. And when I say inspiration, I always mean inspiration of self and others. So let's go into more detail with all 4. Starting with number 1, competence. Your competence is a combination of your knowledge, your expertise, skills, abilities. It's a set of abilities, we could say, that qualify you for a specific role or project or job, for your chosen professional career or your current career, which may of course change over time, right? It's often wrongly assumed that the competence of different people can be easily compared. That's absolutely not true, because no one shares the same exact combination of skills, knowledge, and expertise with you. This combination of skills, knowledge, and expertise is a piece of your distinctive uniqueness, as I call it in my coaching framework, Powerful Leadership Transformation, or PLT. This distinctive uniqueness includes, of course, many other things as well, like stories, your background, your personality, your special talents and strengths, etc., etc. The list goes on. What's also wrongly assumed is that knowledge comes mostly from what we call formal education. But while you may acquire certain valuable knowledge or skills from this formal education, education is not the same as knowledge. And it can even lead to wrong knowledge or misinformation, knowledge of so-called facts, which aren't really facts, but are just considered facts because they're included in the official curriculum that's dictated by people that may not always have our best interest in mind, and that do not want you to have a self-empowered life necessarily, right? Oftentimes, knowledge that people have acquired outside what we call the education system or formal education can be more valuable actually in the context of what qualifies them for a specific job, and most certainly what qualifies them to lead a more fulfilled life. So it's really key to look at that part of your competence too, not just at your college degree or whatever degree or title it is that you hold. Really take time to dissect what you have to offer so you can position your competence accordingly and more powerfully and get paid for it too. Also, it's really competence that keeps people, and especially women, from getting ahead in their careers. We know that, right? What keeps women from advancing in their careers faster is usually one or a combination of the following: lack of visibility, limiting mindset, self-image, not asking the right people for what you want, overfilling your plate with tasks that you should not be doing or that are not strategic for your career. A lack of strategy goes with that too, right? Being too loyal, that requires a little bit more explanation maybe some other time, but that can also be detrimental actually. A lack of clear vision and a lack of negotiation and positioning skills. So 9 things I've listed here: lack of visibility, limiting mindset, self-image, not asking the right people, overfilling your plate, lack of strategy, being too loyal, lack of clear vision, or lack of negotiation and positioning skills. So while it's immensely critical to be fully aware of your competence and its value, it's also important to know that in order to advance in your career, you need to look at all these other elements. Yes? But back to our list of 4 things for today. So we said competence, right? Number 1. Let's look at number 2, self-empowerment. We talk so much about women's empowerment and empowerment this, empowerment that. But the truth is, no one can empower you but yourself. I've said this often before, and if you've heard me talk, in other shows, you've probably heard it before, but I cannot say it often enough. So let that sink in for a moment again. No one can empower you but yourself. You are already powerful, full of power. No one can put your power inside of you because it's already there. It's already inside of you and it's never been outside of you. And here's the essential piece of this. You've got to believe it's there. That's the point, right? You've got to recognize your power, your inner power, and connect with it more consciously, with more awareness, and practice this often so you can truly integrate your power, so you can feel it, embody it with all the cells of your body, right? Your power is already inside of you, but you gotta own it. Just like you gotta own your value, your unique brilliance, what I call distinctive uniqueness in my work. And as we said earlier, competence is also a piece of your distinctive uniqueness. But back to self-empowerment. The more you are able to access this inner power and own your value, the easier it becomes to build trust and to expand your influence and therefore your impact. If you don't know how to access this inner power, here's a shortcut. Just go to Amazon and check out my book, Speak Up, Stand Out, and Shine. It includes several techniques that can help you with that, because when you're not connected with your inner power, that's as if you're switching on some electrical gadget or your TV or whatever without plugging in the power cord. Power energy cannot flow. So we must plug in our inner power cord. And those exercises are in my book, Speak Up, Stand Out, and Shine. Super simple exercises, very effective. So let me share one of the tools in the book, actually, though there are so many more, and some are completely different to this one. This tool is very much focused on energy, or your power energy, yes? Other exercises are mentally or physically focused, although, of course, all three are always interconnected, then they always play together, right? Mind, body, and energy. So let's do the exercise together. Play along with me here. First, stand or sit comfortably, and if standing, then bend your knees slightly and relax your shoulders. And if sitting, plant your feet firmly on the floor. And now close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to center and ground yourself all the way down to your belly with the breath, okay? And feel your feet grounded on the floor and rooted into the earth. Now feel the energy of the earth flowing up through the soles of your feet, all the way through your shins, your knees, your thighs, all the way up through your entire legs and into your torso. And let the energy, this earth energy, nurture you while you are continuing to breathe deeply. Yeah, the deep breathing is really important here. So feel the earth's energy coming up to the base of your spine now, and this is your support center. So take a moment to pause and feel supported here. Then bring the energy all the way into your stomach area, your solar plexus. This is your personal power center and where you can probably most easily find your confidence. So place one or two hands, place one or both hands on your solar plexus area and breathe into that area. Take a moment to feel and focus on your very own personal power. You know that what you focus on expands, right? Where your energy goes, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So allow your mind to focus on your inner power and help it spread out from your solar plexus into your entire being. Now let that energy continue to flow at the same time from your solar plexus area up to your heart, and keep breathing and take a moment to open up your heart now. And then allow this energy to flow all the way into your head and flowing through your head and out through the top of your head and into the energy field that surrounds your body in all directions. Yeah, the field around your body is now filled up with this vibrant energy. And you are now surrounded by a bubble of powerful radiating energy. And you're containing this energy in this beautiful bubble rather than dispersing it out and losing it out there, right? It's surrounding you and enhancing your presence. So this is also now enhancing your presence and your visibility, apart from increasing your confidence. And take a moment to observe what this feels like and focus back on your solar plexus area. Feel the personal power there in this area expand out into an energy bubble again and again and again. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So how did that make you feel? Did you maybe even change your posture without noticing? Did you become taller or feel taller? Did you maybe open your chest area? Did you feel more powerful, more confident, more energized and vibrant? The goal of this exercise is for you to experience your enormous intrinsic power and value, to connect with your infinite inner power. Feeling powerful from the inside raises your self-esteem. It also enhances your perceived presence, how others see you, how you show up, how others perceive you. Yeah, so really, really valuable. And once you've done this a few times, you can literally do it in less than a minute. So in my book, Speak Up, Stand Out, and Shine, as I said earlier, you will find a series of techniques and tools that allow you to stand in your power so you can actually speak up, stand out, and shine. And in this way, increase your influence and your impact as a leader in corporate, in professional services, as an entrepreneur, a speaker, a community leader, an artist, whatever your role is in our world. So check it out, and it's available as Kindle or paperback. Now, continuing with our list of 4 requirements, we said 1 was confidence, 2 was self-empowerment. Now, let's talk about number 3, trust building. Trust building is critical for when you're in a leadership position. Only trusted leaders can create positive impact, but trust is also required to get to a leadership role in the first place, right? Before you're even there. So you want to be able to build trust in all directions with your team, with the decision makers in your organization or in your clients' organizations, trust with your customers, your collaboration partners, your audience, your clients, the list goes on. Business is constant negotiation for trust. Yeah, I'm going to say this again. Business is constant negotiation for trust, and your success depends on whether there's trust or not. So it's important to know how trust even works. Let's look at it. And again, you might have heard this before, but it's a really good reminder. It's really important to understand the neurochemistry of trust and how to manage this neurochemistry of trust in our relationships, our business relationships, and all relationships really, and how to control our own neurochemistry and positively influence the neurochemistry in others, in our teams, our bosses, our colleagues, our clients, our prospects, our business partners, and build trust that way. Trust and distrust are both biochemical processes, and different parts of our brain are engaged in trust or distrust mode. So when we're in distrust mode, our amygdala is most active. And in trust mode, it's the prefrontal cortex, which we also sometimes call the executive brain. Why? Because the prefrontal cortex is supposed to actually be in charge and regulate the amygdala. But fact is that a lot of what's going on in our brain is subconscious and not necessarily conscious. So it's this regulation isn't always 100% functional, and the amygdala also responds beyond conscious awareness. It triggers our fight, flight, freeze, our fight, flight, freeze response, often at the slightest suspicion of a threat, or even when there's no real risk. Yes, so it wants us to be safe. It wants to keep us alive. And so it puts us into survival mode, even when there's no real threat. It just does it automatically. It has to be so fast, so it wouldn't have time to think about it, right? So and then what happens is when we're in survival mode, we are also in distrust mode automatically, right? So when this amygdala response bypasses the prefrontal cortex, this control mechanism, then we also call it an amygdala hijack. What does that mean? The fear networks in our brains have us go into fight, flight, freeze reaction, and we release cortisol and adrenaline, meaning we are now on high alert and in fear. In trust mode, on the other hand, we release more dopamine and oxytocin. Oxytocin is often also called the bonding hormone because it's critical for trust building, for human relationships, also in business. Fear and trust are mutually exclusive. Also, fear creates stress. When we're in stress mode, we cannot build trust. We cannot even trust ourselves when we're stressed out. And other people can, of course, feel that. It's also possible that others fail to trust us because they are stressed out, maybe by something we said, by our questions, by our behavior, or the fear we somehow have generated in them, right? Without wanting to most of the time. So much about trust for today. So let's move on to number 4 now. Inspiration of self and others, number 4. So what is inspiration even? Well, some definitions include the words divine influence. And that's undoubtedly a huge part of inspiration. All of our ideas already exist. We don't really create them. We channel them. And when we allow them to reach us, that's when we can channel them, right? We cannot channel them when our channels are not open, meaning when we're not in receptive mode for them. Our channels have to be open to receive inspiration for that to happen. When we're open to receiving the inspired ideas, I call them inspired ideas, right? In my framework, I also call this inspired action, that what then follows to inspired ideas. So just as a reminder, but so when we're open to receiving these inspired ideas, they come to us. And when we feel inspired enough, we put them into action. And this is how we inspire self, and how we then don't just take any action, but actually inspired action, which also is more effective action. Yes. So that's why I called it in my work, inspired and effective action. So we talked about inspiring self, but what about inspiring others? We have to first create the trust, again, trust, right? So these others are open to receiving our inspiration. Same as with self. They must be open to receive our inspiration. We frequently use words like we frequently use words to inspire, but it's not always about words, right? So we frequently use words, as I'm doing here right now. I'm using words because I'm using words and some gestures maybe, but yeah, so that's my main tool today here with you. Words, my inspiration tool. My intention today here is to inspire you through my words, to inspire you to empower yourself, build trust, and inspire others so you can increase your impact. Yes? However, we don't only inspire through words. We also inspire through example. We inspire through our work, our behavior, our personality, our actions. And I believe, by the way, you so often hear people talk about motivating others. Well, I believe we cannot really motivate others. In my understanding, motivation comes from within, actually, from within ourselves, right? In my understanding of the word, at least, that's the case. And we can only, and that's why I think we can only motivate ourselves. We can practice self-motivation, but we can inspire others and influence them through our inspiration, hopefully in a positive way, right? So we can self-inspire and self-motivate, but as far as I'm concerned, others, we can only inspire and not motivate. And that's why I don't ever call myself a motivational speaker, but an inspirational speaker. So let's quickly recap. We said in order to create impact, we need to have 4 things: competence, self-empowerment skills, trust building skills, and inspirational skills. Yes. So these are all in reality related to skills in some way. But most of the time, there's one more thing we need to create impact, because real impact cannot always happen without taking risks. So we need to be ready to take risks, at least if we want to have a big impact, right? See, I have taken so many risks in my life that wouldn't fit in a book. Although I have, in fact, decided to write a new book where I will share some of these stories and these lessons that I have learned from them, lessons for business and leadership from all these risk stories and adventure stories. So definitely stay tuned for that. In any case, I don't want you to take all the risks I have taken. So please don't imitate any of some of those crazy stories that I sometimes share. And I would probably not recommend doing that to anybody. But I do know at the same time that without taking risks, nothing much happens in our careers. Before I close today, I want to inspire you to think about the following questions. Question 1, which parts of your competence have you not fully shown yet? Question 2, how can you connect with your inner power? In many ways. Just be creative. Question 3, where or how do you need to build more trust? And question 4, how do you inspire others? Really take some time and reflect on these questions. I'm going to repeat them again slowly so you can write them down, and I'm going to share a few more thoughts about each question. Question number 1, which parts of your competence have you not fully shown us yet? First, make a list of all elements you consider part of your competence. Then circle the ones that you haven't used or hardly used, that you haven't been able to showcase properly for whatever reason, right? So which parts of your competence have you not fully shown us yet? Question number 2, how can you connect with your inner power? Repeat the exercise we did here together today earlier, and then come up maybe with other ways to connect with your inner power, your own ways. Yeah, or get the book to find additional inspiration. Again, the title is Speak Up, Stand Out, and Shine, and it's on Amazon. The book gives you a lot more, of course. It has a bunch of awesome tips for speakers and presenters and for your meetings and negotiations as well. How to prepare for them so you can show up more powerfully and with the most compelling, confident presence to all these events, your life events, your work events, whether it's a presentation or a talk or a salary negotiation, a job interview, whatever it is, right? Question number 3 was, where or how do you need to build more trust? Maybe you need to build trust to negotiate your salary more effectively. Maybe you need to build trust with your peers or the leadership team in your company to advance faster in your career. Maybe you need to build trust in your team or with your clients or customers or prospects, so they actually sign up with you, buy your products, your services. Yes. And last but not least, question number 4, how do you inspire others? How have you inspired others in the past? How could you inspire others from now on? And how would you like to inspire them but haven't done it yet for whatever reason? Could you, for example, give a talk or make a video about something that needs to get out into the world, that needs to be shared, a message that others need to hear because they would really benefit from it? And how can you inspire your team to contribute their best selves, their $1 million ideas, or to be more enthusiastic about their work, maybe? How do you do that, and how could you do that? You know, I have amazing tips and techniques for all elements, of course, for all 4 elements that I mentioned earlier and for all these questions. So if you're a team leader or a manager and you want to increase your influence and impact, but are not exactly sure how, I'm always here to support you, of course. And I've also created an amazing new free tool for leaders, a wonderful resource, and it's absolutely free. It's called Outstanding Leadership of Self and Teams. And you can download it at transformyourperformance.com/leadership tool. Again, that's transformyourperformance.com/leadership tool. Tool is actually an understatement because this PDF includes 7 pages of exercises and tools, both for yourself, your self-leadership, and for application with your teams and your team leadership. This PDF will give you amazing insights about yourself, your potential, and that of your team. It'll also have you think about possible shortcomings and how to address them, and it will give you so much to think about and great ways to grow and develop your leadership, yourself and your team. And I'm even thinking I should sell this, but for now at least you can get it completely free at transformyourperformance.com/leadership tool. Just go to that link and get your copy. And that's it for today. So there's so much more to share about this topic, of course. But again, get the PDF, get the book, and you'll make a huge jump forward. And I hope to see you again next Wednesday, same time, same place, when I'll be here again with a special guest. Surprise, surprise. In the meantime, as always, keep shining in your brightest light and sparkle away like a precious pearl, because you know that you are a precious pearl and the world is your oyster. See you very soon.